Generally, Bago is an agricultural city. We thrive on sugar, rice, and lately, organic farming. We are not far behind. The past years, we have a rise of businesses in Bago City. The Arenata family is one of those families who settled here in 1840s. They come from Iloilo. General Juan Araneta was born here. He has an hacienda in Dinapalan, in Barangay Mailum. He was schooled in Manila, Municipal de Ateneo. He graduated with Rito Mercantil at the time, what is now commerce. His main preoccupation was really agriculture. And in 1891, when his first wife died, he traveled to Europe. Everywhere he saw machineries. He was really amazed by the Industrial Revolution in Europe. So any machinery sitting by for agriculture, he would buy it and ship it to Bago City. These are boxes or crates that he sent to Bago are the ones the Spaniards thought were arms he was gathering for a revolution. When the time to revolt came, the revolutionary forces of Negros eventually rose in November 5. General Juan Araneta marched his army into Bacolod. The Lacson from Talisay marched a marching band. It was then that they discovered that he had only 3 rifles and a pistol. So of course everybody has a bolo and a machete or whatever. He bluffed the Spaniards, thinking that they could not really fight the revolutionary. So he thought of an ingenious way of trying to balance the whole situation. That's his main role in then revolution, which we celebrate November 5.
Maybe this was built late 1800s. The original owner was Arenata Family, who also was a resident of Bago. The Balay na bato structure is only seen here, I think, in the Philippines. Like other houses or like old churches, Balay na bato is made of limestone and bound together by egg whites. One feature of this bahay na bato is it comes in 2 stories. The upper story is where the family lived. This down here, this is the ground floor. This serves as a parking space for their carriages. Farm produce, it's all gathered here. This becomes like a granary. Mga tabungos bala nila, it's also here. This serves as a meeting place for them at night where they can be together as a family. Upstairs, I think it composes of 4 rooms. There's a big sala, dining room. The kitchen is a little bit away from the main house. I think they're doing away with smoke. There's a veranda at the back.
But this is a unique feature of the house because in old Balay Bato, this is about the only one we've seen that has a concave steps going up. I mean, there was no others. We don't know why it was done that way, but it's a unique feature of the house. There were partitions here before. These are 4 rooms. When we got an NCCA grant for public space, I had it removed, and this was turned into something like an audiovisual room or a multifunction room, a hall. There's a big room there where Lolo Juan really lived in, or he died also. We turned that into an exhibit of General Juan Araneta. Then the room next to him, Sylvia Araneta Torres, the youngest daughter of General Juan. That's her room. She used to come here and help me with the restoration because most of the furniture are gone. So it was by her memories of the house that I was able to restore some of it. The sala, we preserved it as the sala, and the dining room as the dining room.
There is one nook here that I like. Right after the staircase, you can see a little bit there. It is a place, so I think, where Lolo Juan looks out whenever he sees people coming. When he's expecting family, guests, he is over that place there. I have seen a picture that he sits down there and looking out on the window. I always remember him telling me, this is the first floor. This is always a memorable place for them. He always tells me about family activity. When all this produce come in, like for example, it's harvest time for corn, they are always given quotas. You cannot sleep if you do not finish it. Ang mga babae, when it's time for kapok, duldol bala, they're also given, I think, sacks of kapok are being brought here. For the woman, they said it's like Josie news being whispered here. This is the most memorable place for them when they spend their evenings here.
It was his second wife who lived here and her children during World War II. When the Japanese was coming, they moved to the mountains thinking that the Japanese would use this. It's a big house. They don't want confrontation with the Japanese. They left 1942 and they never came back.
They had to evacuate this place because they didn't know what will happen. They have always this notion na either it will be built as a Japanese garrison or it may be burned down.
In 1946-45, they were already thinking that there should be a high school in Bago. Finally, it was approved that a high school be established in Bago. But they don't have a place for it. So since this is a house big enough, they transferred the high school here for a while until Delarama offered his site, the present site of the high school now.
Pasalamat kami nga syudad sa Bago, sila ang ga-finance ang renovation. Namigid nga may balik-balikan kag matanaw mo to kun di naghalin si Tan Juan ang history sang pamilya sang Areneta para makabalik man di ang nabili na kag makabulig sa pag-uswag sa Bago.
Except for the original floors that will never be touched. The floors have to be changed. The darker parts are original flooring of the house. And the lighter ones are the new ones. We were able to secure planks that used to be in the market. And that's what we will use in some areas. We were affected greatly because we cannot continue our restoration. Let's face it, the city has spent so much on COVID. So naturally, it's a strain on the budget of the city. And so our budget for the finishing restoration here was used by COVID. So we could not do anything except to wait for that. By the end of COVID, we hope we can open our doors again to the public. We call it Balay Tan Juan. That's General 1. It is preserving history. And if we don't know history, we will never, ever progress. It is our culture. Balay Bato is unique to the Philippines. Part of our culture. It's part of our heritage. Thank heavens we were able to restore this house. It only takes somebody interested to be able to restore houses. With the help of government, once you have the historical marker, you can now proceed and ask for grants from the National Historical Commission.
I have always been envisioning that we can leave a certain legacy here. But I was always proud to be a granddaughter of Luluan.
This is a monument to history. We celebrate 5 de Noviembre. Why do we celebrate it? It's because historically, it's General Juan Araneta and the war. When you look at it really, that was the only time Negros really united. That's really the significance.
The more I know about its history, about how Luluan lived, I don't know, I'm really drawn to this place. With me, I always feel like I'm home. This house holds so many memories.
This is a testament to history. That's why it should be preserved.